Hey everybody, I'm Axel Beers with Maui Time. I'm here at the corner of Main and Market Street in Wailuku with Kahala Chrupalyk. She is a candidate for State House District 9, which is Kahului, Sand Hills, Ku'unene, Maui Lani. And we're going to walk story. Thanks for joining us today, Kahala.
Good morning, thank you.
Why are you running for office?
So I was inspired by my children who are now growing up, and with the struggles that we faced when they were small, in comparison with the struggles that people are facing today with children. So right now we have plenty of children getting ready to go back to school, and parents don't know what to do. There's no clear set way. We don't even know if they're going to start school yet until next week. And all of these things matter. And when you start to look at what does it take for a child to go to school, we're talking about they need food, they need clothes, they need a place to live. And all of these things, I don't feel as though have been properly being addressed in the last few years.
Wow, so you know, especially with COVID going on, we have bars, restaurants, those are open now. We have a schedule for tourism, we have a schedule for schools opening up. How do you feel about the response to tourism? Are you happy with that time frame?
Not at all. Not at all. I feel as though tourism is the first thing we should have closed. Therefore, we could have only been quarantining for 4 weeks. And if we would have kept tourism closed, we could have been living a basic normal life right now.
That's kind of like New Zealand did, yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, the federal government right now, they're debating that $600 unemployment plus up. They're debating the second round of stimulus checks. And it looks like we're not going to get that same kind of support. The state is, they suggested $100 a week unemployment, $500 a month rental assistance. Do you think that's enough to support working families? Is there something else you would want to do to support working families or working people?
Well, yes, because not all working families are going to get that money, as we've seen with the first stimulus check. People that owe the IRS, people that owe back child support, they're not going to get that money. And although they may owe something from something that they couldn't recover in the past, that gives us no excuse to starve them today or the families that they have today.
So you know, the second part of that is, with COVID, there's going to be all these budget shortfalls. Like the governor says $2.3 billion by next year. Do you have any ideas, like if you are elected and you're responsible for that budget, how would you try to adapt to the shortcoming of revenue?
So I played around on the Grassroots Institute budget calculator, and I found that if we reduce most services by 10-15%, we can recover a lot of that money. But I also found that they're expanding the missile launching facility on Kauai, which costs a lot of money. And I also found that if we defunded the military by just 3%, we could solve every single problem in Hawaii.
Wow. And that's what Hawaii is spending on the military?
Correct.
Wow. So you know, there's been a lot of talk about diversification. You were kind of talking about tourism and how we're so dependent on tourism that caused a problem. How do you feel? What do you feel about diversification of the economy, and what do you think the state's role should be in diversifying the economy?
As a farmer and an entrepreneur, I feel as though we should definitely diversify our economy, and one of the greatest ways to do that would be to internalize it. So we think that we really depend on tourism. However, tourism only makes up 21% of our economy. And if we were to take that and internalize our focus into things that are going to sell locally, using local vendors, local artisans, we would actually be able to recover quite well. And our tourists, when they do return, would be very happy. In my experience working in the tourism industry in the past, many tourists were really upset because they came here before and they saw Hawaii. They come here now and they see an island version of Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't want to see the same stores that they see there. They want to see what Hawaii is like. And they're really pushing hard to get into our residential neighborhoods just to see what real life in Hawaii is like. So imagine if we gave them an authentic experience with genuine mom and pop stores. How much more they would spend, how much more they'd be delighted to really get around and
you know,
help our economy.
You know, and I saw something yesterday. I was just reading something, and they were talking about a tourism flat tax. So making all tourists pay a flat tax if they were to come. Is that something that you might support?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Right now, I don't think that it's fair that our residents are paying with their taxes to repair roads, and we're repairing basically only the tourism roads. So what's in it for the residents after all that they've paid and after all that they've done?
So you also mentioned you're a farmer.
Yes.
How does that sort of inform like your perspective, and what else have you done that you think prepares you for this job? Yeah, I think you're a political newcomer.
Yes, I am a political newcomer. I used to be more of a political critic, but there came a time when I realized it was just time for me to step up and stop talking from the sidelines. And I think there comes a point in time where we all have to do that in one capacity or another.
So you are part of this new Aloha Aina Party.
Yes.
Tell me about, what does the Aloha Aina Party stand for, and why are you choosing to be part of that party as opposed to the Democrats or Republicans?
Well, I see the Democrats and the Republicans are kind of like the left wing and the right wing of the same exact bird. And both wings fly in the same direction. Therefore, I was really excited to express myself politically and to be a part of a party that has a greater meaning to it.
Yeah.
So what I like about the Aloha Aina Party is that they do realize that our natural resources are not an endless savings account. Meaning we're not going to tap the natural resources dry. Actually going to replenish that and recognize that. And that falls in alignment with the economic diversification. Because if we're going to diversify the economy and invest in agriculture, then even better that we invest in all of our natural resources, create jobs in that direction, and most of our products would be able to be made by local artisans and creators because they would have everything that they need to make that happen.
So after the primary, and I believe you're not running against another Aloha Aina candidate, so
Correct.
we will be going to the general election. You'll be running against Justin Woodson. What can people expect from you as a legislator? If you are the representative, what can they expect from you that maybe you think they might not be getting right now?
Presence. First and foremost, presence. I tend to be out there with all of the community. I'm out there with the different cultural celebrations. I'm out there with our natural resources. I'm out there assisting other people. I'm out there with the church, with the food bank. So just being able to interact with the people on a greater level and to be in a position where I could truly uplift our residents and our small businesses.
All right, well, hey, thank you so much for joining us today, Kahala.
All right, thanks a lot, Axel.
Yeah, remember to vote August 8th. Turn in your mail-in ballot. If you're mailing it in, mail it in at least 3 to 4 days in advance.
Yes, thank you.
Hello.